The air was thick with haze as David and Chris advanced toward the old burial ground on the edges of town. It was a night for dares, and Chris had moved David to investigate the graveyard after 12 p.m. However, both were uncomfortable, neither needed to withdraw. "Are you certain about this?" David asked, his voice trembling. Chris smiled, however it didn't arrive at his eyes. "Come on, man, it's simply a lot of old graves. What could possibly go wrong?" The iron door shrieked as they pushed it open, the sound reverberating through the quiet evening. Gravestones lingered out of the fog like quiet sentinels, and the moon cast spooky shadows that appeared to move and squirm. "How about we simply find the most seasoned grave and leave?" Chris expressed, attempting to sound more valiant than he felt. They explored the thin ways between the graves, their electric lamps slicing through the obscurity. The quiet was abusive, broken exclusively by a periodic stir of leaves and the far-off hoot of an owl. "It is right here," David murmured, highlighting a disintegrating gravestone. The engraving was scarcely readable, canvassed in greenery and worn by time. "Seems as though it's from the 1700s. Chris inclined in to peruse the name. Eliza Montgomery. Passed on 1786. An unexpected chill cleared over them, and David shuddered. "We should snap a photo and go." As they situated themselves by the grave, Chris' electric lamp glimmered and went out. "Damn batteries," he mumbled, shaking it. David's electric lamp began to glimmer as well, and the two lights went out, diving them into haziness. "Chris, this is actually a major buzzkill entertaining," David said, alarm ascending in his voice. "I'm not doing anything," Chris snapped, bungling in obscurity. Unexpectedly, a delicate, melancholy crying consumed the space. David and Chris froze, their hearts beating. "Did you hear that?" David murmured, his voice scarcely discernible. "Definitely," Chris answered, his swagger gone. "How about we leave?" They went to leave, however found their way hindered by a shadowy figure. A lady in a worn-out dress, her face concealed by a cloak, remained before them. Her wails became stronger, more frantic. Who are you?" Chris stammered, his legs shaking. The lady lifted her head, uncovering empty eyes and a skeletal face. "Why have you upset my rest?" she murmured, her voice reverberating with hundreds of years of distress. David and Chris stepped back, however the lady progressed, her feet not contacting the ground. "Please, we didn't intend to," David argued, his voice shaking. "You should follow through on the cost," she said, her voice a chilling murmur. The haze thickened, and the air became colder. Shadowy figures rose up out of the graves, their spooky structures floating toward the two companions. David and Chris went to run, yet their legs felt like lead. The spooky lady lifted her hand, and the shadows shut in. "You will go along with us," she articulated, her voice loaded up with malevolence. David shouted as frigid hands got a handle on him, pulling him down. Chris attempted to battle, however the shadows overpowered him. The last thing they saw was the lady's empty eyes, loaded up with old distress and outrage. At the point when the sun rose the following morning, the memorial park was vacant. David and Chris were gone forever. Their families looked frantically, however no hint of them was at any point found. Neighborhood legends developed, murmuring of the burial ground gatekeepers who rebuffed the individuals who considered upsetting their timeless rest. Furthermore, on hazy evenings, the distressed wails of the lady might in any case be heard, a chilling sign of the destiny that anticipated the people who wandered into the memorial park into the evening.